Okay, I think we are live. I'm going to give it a minute just to catch up and make sure that um, it's working. It's on there. There we go. Well, hello, everybody. I see everybody was trying to be patient waiting. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I just had a couple last minute things to kind of get ready. So I was scooching right at the very last minute to get ready to go. But good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at. For me, it's morning. I know for a lot of you, it's afternoon. I hope you're having a good week. Um, I'm excited to create a card with you today. And I didn't really realize when I made my plan for the live, I started looking back and I was like, apparently I make slimline cards now for lives, because I think the last two cards I've made were both slimline, except for the combined one I did with Leah. So there was one A2 card in there, but apparently I've been enjoying slimline cards. But we're going to kind of throw back and use a little bit of an older set today. And a couple older sets. And then I've got one little sneaky peek of something new that is coming that I'll be using today in our February release at the end of the month, most likely. As we all know, there's always those chances that it'll get bumped a little bit later, but it should be coming really soon. And I have to go ahead to let you guys see it today. So first things first, if you are new, I'm trying to kind of keep an eye on the comments here now. If this is your first time joining live, please let us know in the comments. We'd love to welcome you and say hello. And we're glad you're here joining us live. We always have a lot of fun in these and enjoy chatting and hanging out together. We also give away a $15 gift card, which is kind of an extra bonus. And the way you enter for that is just what you're doing. Chat in the comments. Leave any questions you have, answer if you see someone else with a question. You can chat with each other, chat with me. I don't know if I saw, did I see? There, I did see Leah's on there. So behind the Pinkfresh name, when you see on there, is my partner in crime, Leah Lawson. We take turns doing lives and being in the chat with you. So, and I did see right there, I saw a couple new, Lori and Marcia. Welcome. So glad that you guys are able to join us. I probably won't catch everyone once I start crafting. So if you add that on and I miss it, I'm just going to do one big welcome to everybody now. And as far as missing things, once I start crafting, sometimes I miss those questions, but Leah, who I just mentioned behind the Pinkfresh name, does a really great job of catching any of those that I miss. If somehow we both miss it, sometimes things just slide by really quick. I promise we're not ignoring you. Sometimes it's just hard to keep up. So feel free to leave that question again. One other way that you can enter for that $15 gift card is sharing this video. There's a little share button somewhere down along the bottom. I'm not even going to try and point it out because I'm really bad at that. But if you click that little share button, it'll give you a link. You can send it in a message to a friend, an email, a text. Post it on your social media, Instagram, Facebook, or if you're part of a group and you know it's allowed in the rules, feel free to post it there. And then just come back whenever you've done any of those things and just leave us a little comment and let us know that you shared. And then that will count as another entry at the end of the live. Anything else? Oh, almost everything I'm using today, except for the sneaky peek items, are all linked in the video description. So if you have any questions about ink colors or which set I'm using, you can find all of those there. But if you miss and you want to see something, I try and kind of keep everything out so it can be seen. Feel free to ask, but it is there as a reference, whether you're watching live or on replay. And I just saw Leah's on a phone call, so she'll be behind there. I thought I saw someone else new first time sliding by. So if I missed that, I'll just apologize and once again say hello and welcome. And one final thing that we really appreciate, you don't have to do it. It doesn't count as an entry for the giveaway or anything. It's just something we really appreciate is if you hit that thumbs up button, if you are enjoying the live. That just helps with the YouTube and the algorithm and more people being able to find and join us so that we can grow our fun group and have more crafty friends to join us. And who doesn't want more crafty friends, right? All right. And on that note, I think I've covered all of the usual stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around and we'll go ahead and see about getting started. And maybe I can show you guys the little sneak peek that we were we get to play with today. All right, looks like I'm good. I'm going to scooch my laptop over just a little so it's out of the way. So we are going to use this release. I don't even remember exactly when. Hold on. I'm going to do one quick adjustment here on, there we go, so I can still see the comments and make sure it's up on my phone so I can see them there. So this is a layering stencil set. I want to say it released sometime last year. It might have been older than that. I didn't look to remember. But it's a beautiful slimline. I really love folk art. My family and my husband's family both have Scandinavian roots. He's a little heavier on the Norway. I'm a little heavier on the Sweden, but it's all kind of that Scandinavian. So I'm always kind of fascinated by that. So the captioning said, who doesn't want more craft? Let me emphasize that really carefully. Gotta love closed captioning, right? Okay, for some reason my phone, let's see if it'll stay on now. It wants to turn off so I can see comments. I might have to just do the best I can. So we're going to use this today. We're also going to use the slim diagonal stitch rectangles and the first one of our foiled sentiment ephemera. And real quick before we move on, I'm going to use, you've all been anxiously awaiting these mini blending brushes that were part of the Holiday Create and Connect last year. They were the swag that was included. And there's one other surprise. So these should be releasing in the February release, which again is scheduled for the end of this month. Fingers crossed, nothing gets pushed or put out. But here's the other fun little surprise. There's even tinier mini blending brushes, and we're going to use those for our card today. I'm going to show you real quick just the comparison between the two. And look at that same cute little box that slides in and out for storage. It's wider. It has a little box in there to keep it up in the right spot. But the big ones are 1/2 inch. The little ones are 1/4 inch, and they're going to be super tiny and just fun for getting, especially on a stencil like this, getting into all those little nooks and crannies. I know they're like, the minis are cute, and then these are just adorable. It's like little baby brushes, and they have that same the logo printed on there. I'm right there. Let me check it from that side. 8 5/8. Yes, I think I've got that right. So we're gonna go ahead and trim and die cut. Let's hold on here. I'm trying to see. All right, someone said it's frozen here. Okay, is it going again? It looks like it's going again. Right, okay. I'm seeing lots of it's back on and we're good to go again. I have no idea what happened. I didn't get any warnings on my Zoom. I didn't get any internet, nothing saying that there was a problem. So, all right, I don't know where it froze up. So really quick, I'm just going to repeat the last little bit I said there about the corner alignments here on the stencils, that they're designed to go with, like Leah said, Brazen's revenge there. The alignment guides go by 3 5/8 by 8 5/8, which is the exact size of this largest of our largest slimline dies. So we're going to go ahead and just start by die cutting this. I'm going to grab my extended plate packed idea for my Gemini that I got this from Leah. She can explain the sandwich, as we've said. Oh, it froze all the way at baby brushes. Oh my goodness. That was way back there. All right. So I might have missed more repeating anything, but we're going to use the mini blending brushes. We're going to use this panel that's going to be the perfect size for the alignment guides on this. And I'm going to run over and die cut this at my Gemini real quick. Okay, so here is our die cut panel to get started with. Oops, try not to make a mess on my desk here. And then we've got this fun, so you can trim your panel down the same way to fit this. Or you can also, I've done it on a bigger panel and just lined up. If you were using this whole big panel, I'll just sometimes line up along the bottom and side edge, and you can make that work too. But I like to die cut because then you get that fun finished edge, a little bit of a stitched detail. This one is the diagonal stitched, so you get that pretty little, I'm hoping that shows up well on camera. Just a nice finished bit of an edge on there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do my normal little habit, putting a little tape on the reverse of this. And then we'll just start here with stencil 1. And you'll see here, it's going to line up perfect with those little corner alignments on my die cut panel. Okay, let's pull out a couple of these off of here. Let's pull out our little brushes. Start. So the way I have these blending brushes, if I have, let me see if I can get these on camera enough so that everything shows well. I have these in a set for each color along the color family. I have one for pastels and one for darks. And on the bottom of the boxes that I slide them into, I just have them labeled either dark or pastel. So basically I use the lightest one for the very lightest color. And then I use the darker one for the darker. I only have one box of these currently, so I'm just going to use these for whichever color I'm using today. I'm only using 4 color families, so I'll have plenty. And I probably will use these mostly for darker colors anyway. Aren't they cute though? Sorry, I just can't get over how cute they are. All right, so we're going to use aquas for our greenery today. I'm going to start with my, oops, and you know what? I grabbed the wrong, I want the aqua ones with my dark. So we can correct that real quick. I just have them down in rainbow order. So, all right, and we're going to slide those up a little so they're out of the way and get this up where you can see it well. And we're going to start with just the normal blending brushes we've been showing you for a while. I'm going to start with that with Ocean Breeze. And I'm going to blend, I'm not going to go super soft on this because I want a pretty good base coat of color because I'm going to come in with the deeper shade after this. But I'm definitely going to focus my deeper color at kind of the centers and the bases of everything. And then we'll come in and just add a little bit of shading and depth with our little bitty brushes. Keeping an eye on the comments there as best as I can. I've used these before with a little bit more, I love doing the folk art with a little more traditional folk arty colors, but I thought, I know it's dead on winter. I know everyone has had some cold, nasty weather, and I just thought, you know what, fun spring tones, light and bright and airy and happy, just kind of sounded fun today. So that's what we're going for. And yes, we're pretty much planning on all of these brushes releasing in February. Like we always say, there's always that possibility of delay, but I think we've pretty well confirmed as long as the whole release doesn't get pushed out, it'll be right at the very end of February. So Lee and I learned a long time ago, don't ever commit 100% to anything, because what's that saying? Nothing is sure in life except death and taxes, and stamps and dies and stencils and brushes definitely don't fit in that category. So they're a lot more fun than those. It's the not fun things that are the for sure's in life, right? Okay. Yes, we don't want anyone to ever come back and go, but you said, all right, we ready for these little bitty brushes, and we're going to swap over to Aquamarine. Let's see. Oh, I don't even know. This is like the first run of these. I'm so excited to them to use. They're so fun. Excuse me here while I get a sip of my tea. The morning cough going there. Oops, actually, I'm going to switch these. So I have the one I'm using here a little closer now. These are just so fun for getting into those little, I mean, I can go right at the base of each of those leaves and get right in there. I could kind of do that with my others, but definitely not to the same, level. And how can you not feel like an artist while you sit and basically color with ink? It's the best. It's going to add so much dimension and texture. This is going to be super fun reveals today, you guys. Just going to say that now. Like, let me just, can you guys kind of just see already? Get this picked up. Like what a difference that's making on that one side already. I've literally never used baby brushes so tiny and cute. And I love I feel like there's so much more ergonomic, the style like this than with the handle. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just love the feel of them in your hands. It just feels good. I know this is kind of like the boring part of just watching ink blending. Maybe it's not boring. I don't know. It's certainly fun to do it, so I'm not bored. Okay. I think on that note, we're ready. Oops, made a mess there, but that's okay. All right, first magic reveal. Look at how fun that is. You see all the color variation and everything? I know. Who said that? Jean, that we're going to sell out of the baby brushes, so we better go make more. I agree. If I had my say, we'd probably be out of them already. All right. So that's the first layer. Totally fun, but let's keep building on. Let's move on. I'm just going through the stencils on this one. I thought about mixing up and doing all of the greenery, but I think I'm just going to build up one step at a time here. We're just going to go through the colors. So same as last time, we're going to use 2 colors for this layer on the pinks. So we'll start with, hold on, I gotta switch brush sets on these right here because we'll come back to those in a little bit. Let's move over to the ones that have the pinks. And the darker pinks. Actually, and you know what, now I'm thinking about it, I'm really not using the darker pinks right now. I'm only using the lighter with the big brush, and then we're coming in with the tiny. So let's save a little bit. Eva, the plan is to release these at the same time. So there'll be the 1/4 inch or the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch all at the same time. So yes, that is for sure the plan. So I'm thinking about that now. I think I didn't think that one through. I should have used the darker actually, because I tried to keep that lighter one only for ballet slippers. So let's go ahead and clean off the darker one. Make sure I don't have any crazy color on there. Okay, try that again. Just come in here with Sparkling Rose. And again, on this, I'm just trying to kind of add the base layer of color, and then we'll come in with those itty bitty brushes and add some depth of color. And again, I'm not going, this is a deeper color, so I'm not trying to go as dark like with Ocean Breeze. I was trying to kind of go heavy on the ink. This one, it's a deeper color. So whoops, that got a little deeper, but I'm trying to kind of start. So instead of dabbing my brush off, I'm just starting on the stencil so that I'm off the edge of where the stencil starts. So I'm kind of softening that ink a little bit before I go over the area I'm going to stencil. Kind of gives, excuse me, gives a smoother blend of the color, which is nice. So that's most of the time when you see us when we ink up our brush and we kind of dab it off. It's kind of the same idea there. I'm just doing it because there's enough open space on the stencil to do that really easily. Okay, first layer down. So switch these places. I have the next one close. And bubble gum, and let's add some shading, kind of like before. This is going to make this so fun. I hope you guys can see just as well as I can how it's building up that color there. And I can get in just as much as I want to, which is so fun. Those little tiny, tiny, tiny details. And usually I turn and rotate these more, but these little brushes are making it easier. I don't feel like I have to do that as much to get the ink right where I want it. Okay, I'm gonna come over and do. Someone saying it's a new look on old stencils. Yes. Leah will probably answer that. We are working on new inks, Hope Smith, but it's been like the forever process. So we don't have an ETA on when those will be ready. All I can say is we're as excited about it as everyone else is. So we're doing our best to get those. All right, let's go right in at the base there. I think that's a good spot for a little extra. The birds had me kind of fun. Let's add a little depth there in the kind of on the tummy of the birds. I think that would be a fun spot to. Okay, come in just a little more at the base of these. Almost thinking about, you know what, we're gonna just do it here. Let's go. I put the deepest colors on there as well, just because I wasn't sure. I think I might do just a touch of Raspberry Bliss at the base of these. Just because it's going to add, because I have, these are so small, I can fit 3 colors in there and there's no extra layers on these. So why not, right? I'm just having so much fun with them that I can't resist adding that extra. Just a touch at the bottom, just to add. And now I am going to rotate because I got to get in at the bottom of those flowers. Okay, I'll clean that brush off just a little. So I went all the way up to the darkest. And let's see how that came out. Fun. It's almost like have you seen like that folk art painting with the like more the solid acrylic paints? It feels a little more along those lines. So fun. All right. Now I'm almost wishing I'd put one more color on the leaves, but we're not going to go back and worry about that. We're just going to keep moving forward on to our next stencil. And really this is, I don't think it matters how long we take. So I was kind of feeling bad, like I'm going too slow. And then I realized this is the majority of our card is doing this. We've got a pre-done sentiment. We really don't have to worry. All right, let's see. This one, we're going to want the lightest for the yellow. So I'm going to go back to my pastel brushes. And we're going to do some yellows for this part. I'm going to note, if you ever need a reference, the back of the packaging is a great reference for kind of seeing where the colors fit together and what you want to do. So, and again, Lemon Whip is that pale color. So I'm going to go pretty bold on there because I want to get a good solid coating of color. And then we'll go in with our little brushes and see what else we want to add on there. But This will be our first inking. Like Leah said, yes, this live is all about those mini brushes. So we're definitely focusing heavy on that. And this is going to be, I can already see one area that I'm going to love being able to use the mini brushes, because I can get in with the deeper color on those little birds' beaks without committing to anything crazy. Okay. All of our base layer color there. So I'm going to move that out of the way because I'm suspecting my little brushes are going to come in on this one, probably with sweet mustard and also a little bit of marigold. All right, so on to our mini, those little bitty brushes again. So we're gonna go pretty good with the sweet mustard and give a good layer at the bottom of those with that. And then we'll come in with a little bit of the marigold, I think, as well on some of the spots. So just where we want to add even more. I'm loving the, let's see, try on this, I think. Hold on, let's finish all of these ones and then I decide on the birds. I think I want to come in from the back with the deepest color, but I'm having to ponder that a little bit. Seriously, you guys, I am not a painter. I'm not an artist. I always tell people that, but these make me feel like I am one, which is so fun. All right. I think I'll come in, we'll come in like this from the top on those. That would be fun. Kind of slide down. All right, then I'm going to come in with a little bit of marigold and we're going to hit that nice and strong on the beaks, also on this little dot there. And then let's see, let's add a little bit of marigold just to the base. Oh yeah, I love that little bit of a glow. What's so fun about these stencils is you could do these exact stencils just in your basic stenciling and they're going to look amazing. But then you come in and do something like this and it changes the whole look. It suddenly makes it look like there was like double the number of stencils because you've added your own details all by yourself. I love that. I don't know. I'm having second thoughts. I might have to come back in with, I don't know. We'll see. I might have to do a little more on the leaves, but we can come back and do that if we want. A little more at the top of those. Okay, I think that's good. The tiny brushes, they are soft. Let me grab a clean one. They're nice and soft. They feel just like the other ones. So they blend like a, if you notice me kind of coming in, you can go upright and blend, but I'm kind of almost doing like a sideways blend and they're really soft. They just kind of smooth it in really easy. All right, there's that next magic reveal. Look at that on the yellows. I don't know, guys, the greenery might get a little extra, but we'll see. I'm gonna ponder that a little more. So we've got one more layer on the florals. So we're gonna go ahead and do that one first. Okay. Keep that in place. And for this, I thought I would do some purples. So let's move over to our dark purples. And swap those out. We're gonna grab this one, make sure I clean it off a little so it's not too crazy. And then let me think here for a minute. I'm trying to decide. I almost think I want to mask off. I don't think I want to add another because we've added the extra color on those pink areas. I think I'm actually going to mask those off and leave those alone on here because I kind of like those already with all that pink. Definitely not something you have to do, but I'm kind of just liking that. So I'll leave those alone and just do the purple areas. So I'm doing candy violet because I didn't want to go all the way down to soft lilac. I'm going to keep an eye on comments. And I love, oh, and you know what there? No, we need the layering there. So we'll see how purple looks over the yellow. Can't really do that too much, but I bet it'll look fine. It's kind of, there's a bit of a red tone to it, so I think it'll blend just fine. So again, this is our base layer of the purples, and then we'll come in with, I think, lavender. I've also got Regal Kiss out, so I haven't fully decided which color I'll focus more on, but okay. Make sure I've got a good base layer on everything. And then let's swap over, switch these around, start with lavender and see if we need to add the Regal Kiss as well. Oh, that really works well. I like that. Just that, kind of adding it at the base of everything. I know I'm not doing a great job of keeping up on comments or questions, so if you have one for me, I'm just going to do one side of that heart. Keep going along the bottom of that there. Let's see. Definitely along the base of that. Let's deepen up the eyes a little bit. Hopefully this is, I'm trying to make sure I stay on camera, but finding it much easier to kind of rotate it for different areas. This is why I tape mine down the way I do, instead of the way that Leah does hers. All right, I think that's actually good on that. Now, you might have noticed me skipping the berries there. And part of that is because I want to come in, I think, with Regal Kiss. And thanks to this little blending brush, I can really hit those really well and kind of give those some added color difference. Okay. Where else do we need? I think I'm going to do the darker on a little part on the birds too, just to bring that out. So same on the eyes. Maybe a tiny bit on these bigger flowers, just so I'm kind of balancing out that darker color around the entire image there. But I think I'll leave the other purple ones just with the other two. I think that's good. I think we can call that good. Let's go ahead, clean this off a little, remove all those little masks. Yeah, I think I'm glad I kept those. You know what though? We could come in. Here's a thought. Let's come in with just the detail of the pink one again, and a little more of the raspberry bliss. Let's go ahead and just add that detail on there that way. That'll be a fun way to finish that off. And again, these little brushes are so tiny. I don't even need to mask to do that. So I can just come right in and add that extra color. And I'm just going for bold. I'm not trying to add any variation in here. I'm just popping it in there. Full on raspberry bliss. Okay. And then I'm going to be careful and just do a little bit of careful cleaning here so I don't rub it all into the different areas. I'll clean these stencils really well afterwards. If you haven't watched our live, we clean them with rubbing alcohol afterwards. Okay. Look at how bold and pretty that's coming together. You know what? I am going to go back. Finally concluded. I'm going to go back to the greenery or aqua greenery, and I'm going to deepen it up a little bit. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to grab some Mermaid Cove. So we're going to use Tidal Pond for other darkest. And I'm going to nudge it up a little bit, add some more depth into the color there. We've made the others so nice and rich and deep and dark that I feel like it needs that little bump up in the center of it. And I kept thinking about it, and finally I was like, you know what? How much I've thought about it, I need to commit and do it. And we're going to appreciate. So one thing to keep in mind too, these colors, they're dye inks. So when you blend them, they are going to soften up a little bit as they sink in and dye the paper. So even if you're looking at them and thinking, oh no, is it too dark? I don't know if you could see how much those aquas kind of softened up as time went on. So it is just kind of a helpful thing to know that it's gonna fade in and blend in a little bit better than you expect once it softens up. So if you feel like you're blending and you just don't like how dark the blend is, give it some time. That's where why we all have ink swatches, because then you can see what the inks are going to look like when they dry. All right. I think we bumped that up a good notch there. Sherry knew I was going to go back. I talked about it so much, she knew I just couldn't resist. There it is. Totally worth it. Don't you think? Surely I'm not the only one that thinks that was a good decision. All right. Now we've got that detail layer on the greenery. So this is going to add that final punch to those. And I knew that was coming, but I still wanted to finish it off. So we're going to go with our dark. I'm just going to do the big one for this. I'm not going to worry about the tiny blending brushes because I just want to hit this on there and get that final detail shoved on over the top. I'll focus a little bit on deeper at the base and softer at the outer edges, but these are so small, I don't need to come in and make them too crazy. So we'll speed this one up just a little bit, and that'll wrap this up. And it'll be our final reveal. And we'll see what our final finished panel looks like, and see if the card base I made and planned on is going to work. Ta-da! Look at that, guys. If that isn't just fun, I don't know what is. Okay, Sharon, the brushes, these are a sneak peek. The brushes are coming if all goes well, the end of this month. So this was just kind of we've the small ones that we've been showing for a while that were part of the Create and Connect event last year. They were the swag, everyone got one package of them. And then these are brand new that I hadn't even used until today. So they're brand new. The stencil, on the other hand, the stencil has been out for a while. I don't know if Leah saw and can answer that. I want to say at least a year. I could be wrong. It could even be longer than that. But at least right now, here's another look at that panel and how fun that is. All right, let's see if my card base I created is going to work, and I think it's going to be perfect. A nice little aqua card base. I'm going to pop that up on foam because, of course, we're going to pop it up on foam. It's just kind of what we do. Let me grab one on. Oh, it does look like I have one pre-made panel left. Time to get on that. I've still got some of the A2 ones, but let's go ahead and get that one popped up with foam, and then we'll get our sentiment and some bling on there. And I knew we could take our time ink blending because look at how well we're doing for time. Packing paper pulled off there. Make sure that I'm Good with where that's going on there. Perfect. Or I peel off the backing and stick it down. Yes, that would actually, Sharon, it would be a really cute wedding card. That's a good thought there. I like that idea. Okay, don't put it on upside down, top of the card base. Good. All those things that I internally say in my head when I'm sticking it down. Is the card base the right way? Centered. There we go. Okay. I have to talk to myself to make sure I get it on there. So there we have that. I pre-pulled out. We'll see if I still like the sentiments. I wasn't sure if I was going to want silver or gold. I have a couple. So I have It's All About You. I have Miss You. Ooh, I kind of like that one on there. Thank You. And as much as the gold's good, I do think I am going to stick with the silver. I'm going to just double check and make sure nothing else. I was just kind of guessing on what I would want. Congrats would fit on there really good. Actually, that sentiment wouldn't be bad on there either, but I think I like the more scripty ones. So if you have not used them before, these are some of our pre-foiled ephemera. Super handy, great price point. There's like 42 sentiments and there's so many really good ones. This is the first set. We have several of them. Some of them are rainbow, not foiled. The upside down technique, right? Wendy, if I do it upside down, what I usually do, if I notice that, is I just cut this in half and mount it on a white card base so I don't waste it, and then it still works. All right, I'm pretty sure that one's cute too, but I really think I like one of these. I think I either like take a deep breath. I almost think the boldness of the congrats fits. I almost feel like, as much as I like the others, I feel like the Miss You kind of just disappears in all the detail, as do all of the others. So I think I'm going to go with the congrats, because I think that's a good choice. And I think it'll show the best on there. So we're going to tuck that. I could put it in the center, but I just feel like it makes the card too, there's something about the off center tucked down there that just works better. Let's grab some little thin foam strips. I can fit a double layer, so I'm just going to get both of those at once. Make it easy to stick it down. Whoever said that, dies not dough, mom full of joy, that auto corrects for me all the time whenever I'm trying to write dies and it puts doughs. I'm like, no, it's not what I meant. I'm not being all murdery. It's just for hard stuff you don't understand. All right, let's fit that on there. And then what I had written down, I think I put the option of crystals as well. So I hadn't fully decided which way I was going to go on this, because we might really like, no, that one's not quite right. Actually, that one's not too bad. No, I don't think these are quite bold enough. Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that. I thought of it yesterday when I grabbed it, but the sentiment ephemera are all 25% off this week as well. That was part of why I picked to use those. So if you haven't tried those and you want to check them out, now is a great time to do that. Okay, so what I was thinking is I would either use crystals, white jewels, or the clear iridescent drops. I'm going to do one final fondant about, no, I think I'm most likely going to use the iridescent. Let's move these out of the way and see. I might change my mind, but I'm going to start there and grab our little brass trays and our fun coordinating. This is not releasing the end of February. It is, if you are part of Create and Connect, if you've gotten your box yet, you already have your hands on this. And if not, it will be releasing sometime soon after that. I'm not exactly sure when. but it's double-ended. You've got the wax embellishment side, and then a little pokey tool that I love is not as pokey as some of them, so you won't stab yourself. I thought it was like, did I say something that the closed captioning? No, I think someone just had an autocorrect problem there on the pop-up foam panels. Let's rephrase that. All right, let's play with just some spots to tuck some of these. I think I'll put one of those maybe on there. And then go down a size, pop one on there. Yeah. And maybe, no, let's do that size there. I'm going to be talking to myself a little bit now while I add these ones on there. Try to get the right, you know, bling to stencil ratio. Let's see what else we need. These come in 4 different sizes, so I'm using all of the 3 smaller sizes right now to embellish. All right, so I did the, yep. I like that. And then we'll do the itty bitties there. Itty bitty there. More of the itty bitties there. I think we're getting close to, I'm missing more of them that are all flipped around and rotated. I guess I have to rotate them myself. There we go. The edge of my desk sometimes works good for that. And then which size do we need? That size? Yeah, I think that's the right size for there. The second from the smallest. There we go. So now we have a good blend of different sizes and it's not boring. And I think that's going to be the perfect little finishing touch. That's part of why I put my sentiment there, so I wouldn't cover up any of the places that we wanted to put the bling. Okay, a little bit of glue. We'll stick these down and then we'll wind down and be done right on time. All right, nothing move. The big challenge now. Oh, good. And my glue is not plugged. I was hoping it wouldn't be. From one side to the other. Oh, I was going to do that. There we go. Flipped my little. I think I got a little dot of glue stuck on there. So there we go. We can fix it. Slimline cards. Usually I tape them closed a little bit from the inside because they always want to pop open on me and fling stuff around, which isn't super helpful. Don't really like it. So I'm trying to outsmart it and just kind of keep my finger on there to hold it closed. I'll let you know in a minute if it worked. Sure I'm not missing any and knocking any off with my hands. Almost done. I saw someone, I'm trying to, oops. Saying something, see, I need to focus. Hold on. Someone said something about where I'm putting the drops. And I was gonna say on these more pattern, like the folk art like this, I always feel like it's better to kind of put them precisely, not randomly. I think it's because it's so structured with the pattern and everything that it needs to have that consistency. So make sure, good, nothing fell off. I have that many on there. I also have to check and make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, let's take a closer look so you guys can see that well. Foiled sentiment, and now that, especially with that silver, I think those clear droplets were perfect because it kind of helps accentuate. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I'm going to give you one more little look at those cute little blending brushes. And I mean, just opening the box, I'm pretty sure that counts as therapy. So if you need an excuse to buy these, just so you can open and close the box. And then let's do a little side-by-side comparison again, now that they're inked up, so maybe you'll be able to see them even easier. Here's the two different sizes. This is the 1/2 inch one, this is the 1/4 inch one. All right, and then that winds us down. And you guys got to see my first run of those little bitty brushes. So thank you for hanging out with me while I did that. Oh, I did that. Switch that camera. Make sure that's working. All right. I know, I feel like Pinkfresh, all of these essentials, the packaging in the boxes are almost as much fun as what's in them. So, and like Leah said, we were both trying to figure out how are we going to store these? And then we got the boxes and we're like, I think the box works just great for storage. So it works for me because I can just kind of keep them there. And like you saw, I'll pull out which colors I want and it works. All right, we are actually going to finish just a minute early today. I'm going to wait for Leah to announce the winner. And then we have one more live this week on Thursday. This week is Natalie. She'll be doing some fun scrapbook layout. If you haven't joined us today, or sorry, you joined us today. If you haven't joined us in the past for a scrapbook live, same time, same place, just on Thursday. Our two scrapbookers, it's Kathleen and Natalie, that alternate. They do a really great job of sharing fun techniques. If they don't make you want to start scrapbooking, they'll probably give you ideas to use on your card making too. And I just saw Leah announce the winner, Brenda Lee or Lay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but you are today's $15 gift card winner. Congratulations. Just email Leah at pinkfreshstudio.com. Her name doesn't have an H on the end, just Lea, just to make sure it goes to the right place. And give her 2 or 3 days, business days, to get back to you. It takes her a little while to catch up on all of her emails, so it might take her a couple days to get back to you, but congratulations and have fun shopping with your gift card. And thank you again, everyone, for joining us. I had fun making the card. I hope you enjoyed and had a good time. Before you go, if you didn't, once again, we'd love if you hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the live today, and have a great rest of your week. I will see you in the comments on Thursday with Natalie for a fun scrapbooking, memory keeping, some kind of project, probably a layout, but you never know. Have a great week. I'll see you soon.